I'm Melissa Nakavali at the University Avenue Courthouse, where today we wrapped up day 2 of the Eaton Centre shooter's Christopher Husband's sentencing hearing. Now, today we heard from Husbands himself, as well as his defense team, who is arguing his sentence should be reduced because of the state in which he was detained. Inhumane and cruel. That's how the defense team is describing the time Christopher Husband spent behind bars, 2 years of which was in administrative segregation. The Crown arguing the high-profile nature of the case made it necessary. The defense, however, pushing that Husbands gets 2 years reduced off his sentence because of the extended time in isolation. The Court of Appeal made changes to how many days an inmate could be kept in administrative segregation. As of March this year, any more than 15 days would be considered cruel and unusual treatment. Husbands took to the stand today being questioned on the living conditions behind bars, which he described as poor. He says toilets would consistently overflow, rodents and roaches were common, and he spent nearly 24 hours a day in his cell at the Don Jail, which has since been closed. The Crown also brought up an affidavit where Husband speaks about wanting to commit suicide. They question why he didn't tell a medical official. He says that they would have taken his clothes and put him in a suicide blanket, something he didn't want. Husband's testimony followed an emotional start to the sentencing hearing yesterday, where victims, including Connor Stevenson, spoke. He was shot on the head at 13 years old and miraculously survived.
I have to live every day, just kind of making sure that I don't get hit in the head. I mean, I fell down this, I fell just down one stair and hit my chin and completely knocked myself out and lost an entire day. I had to be rushed to the hospital, so it's just, you have to live just slightly cautious now.
Are we going to get to the point where we can keep him in jail longer? I mean, public safety, everybody in Toronto should care about this, because he randomly shot up the mall. What's to say he won't do it again? I mean, he hasn't changed. He hasn't had any rehabilitation. So why would somebody like that be let out on the streets? I don't understand that at all.
The Crown brought in letters today written by Husbands. In it, Husbands writes, if he sees the people who got him in jail, they'll, quote, better be willing to kill me. He also says, quote, best believe I'll punish them. But then in the letter, he begins to show remorse. Now, the sentencing hearing continues tomorrow and then again on Friday. I'm told this will be a long process with extra hearing dates scheduled in September and October.